you talk about this whole method of setting up your story and telling it, delivering two key things that they're looking for. Can you just review that with us?
Yeah, so the first thing is making sure that you connect the dots. And where the dots don't connect, I think an epiphany helps fill that in. I realized this, and so that's why I did this jump. And then making sure that those dots that connect ultimately connect to the company or the position that you're trying to go for. And then number two is making sure that you know what they're looking for. What needs do they really have? Doing that company research, like you were saying, and say, you know what? I know you're looking for leadership, and oh, by the way, I happen to mention, the best leadership. Really quick 5-second plug of my leadership experience that I've had along the way. Cross functionality. Oh yeah, just a little drop here where you can, and you have to gauge. You don't want to go too long. If it's just tell me about yourself, you can't take 5 minutes. You got
Sure.
1 minute, but you plan and you prepare. Okay, this is my 1 minute thing. I can fit this and this in. I'll leave that for later. If it's walking through your resume, okay, I'll hit this and this point as well along that path.
Okay, so to review then, before we move on, I'm going to put you in the hot seat,
Okay.
and I'm just going to say that I'm with P&G,
Right.
and you are either sitting down with me or standing in front of me at a career fair like Nashimba or Nabimba or something else,
Right.
and I say, tell me about yourself. Go.
All right. First of all, I'm really excited to be here. It's a great conference, and it's great to be talking to some great companies. And it's great because of the background that I have and where I'm trying to go. And I think, I started off at U of A, Arizona, in psychology. Loved that human aspect, understanding what makes people tick. How do you persuade people to take a point of view? After I graduated, I went and I served a mission for my church for 2 years in Taiwan. And it was at that point I realized, although I like psychology clinically and the research aspect, I really wanted more of an application. I wanted a business environment, and I really enjoyed that while I was in Taiwan. So when I came back, I jumped on with an appraisal firm to kind of cut my teeth in the business world, which helped ultimately land me a job, helped me get a job with US Airways in corporate finance. So, love corporate finance, analytical, got to look through accruals, P&L, what makes the business actually run, business unit run. But I wanted to be more in the red hot center of the airline industry, really be the value add, which I thought was strategic forecasting. So forecasting the demand for ticket prices and then changing prices on a daily basis. I'm sure you're very familiar with the pain or the happiness that can come from those fluctuations. But and that helped take me into a more central role at US Airways, looking at the numbers, crunching the data, and making hard decisions that ultimately drove millions of dollars of extra revenue in a lot of markets, some markets not, to the company. So that was what I did professionally. On the side, I also started a surfboard-import company. It's just something that I always wanted to do, entrepreneurial, enjoy that environment, and I like that creative process, working with a lot of different people. And ultimately, when I came back to my MBA, I wanted to have something that put those two separate worlds together, which is what brand management is. So I don't have to have two separate professional endeavors. I can put it all together in one very happy career that I can put my whole heart into. So that's what brings me here to the front of this glorious line today.
A lot of people aren't sure, once they've chosen marketing, which direction they want to go. Business to business, consumer packaged goods,
Yeah.
tech marketing,
Yeah.
all the other variations, promotional marketing, etc. Why did you choose the path you did compared with the others? And tell us about your experience this summer.
So this summer I worked at Kellogg's, so just a classical CPG company. And there's a lot of different routes you can go within marketing, but for me, CPG and these companies are they're marketing masterpieces, and that's what they've been doing for the last 50 to 100 years. And if you can, the true test of a marketer is the margin. If I've got a rice flake and you've got a rice flake, why would you pay 50% more for my rice flake? Or like scope. It's colored water, but I'm willing to pay a premium because of that marketing. The CPG companies for me it was about the training. That's the real thing. If you want to learn how to be, I think, the best marketer that you can classically. Now, if you're going to a very focused thing like, technology, I think there are still applicable principles, but you may not want to go that route, that longer route. But I think they have the dollars to put behind the research and the training to say, we've got this billion-dollar brand, we want you to run it, we're going to train you how to do that first. And it's hard to get that kind of training in other industries and in other companies. So that's why I thought CPG brand management really spoke to where I wanted to be. Get that development and just that world-class training. And you get to work with just some amazing people.